Bloody football. Well, let's go. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Bloody Football. I'm your host Hassan. The first game this midweek was West Ham versus West Brom. Started as I predicted, started as cagey as I thought it would be. West Ham were attacking, West Brom were defending. The first goal came from a Bowen header. At the end, a good header that the keeper just couldn't save. Followed by that, West Ham did give West Brom quite a bit of room after the first goal, and West Brom used it. Pereira then equalised for West Brom with a great shot. It was accurate and it was powerful. It was on point. After the equaliser, West Ham went to break the defence of Burnley over and over, and Declan Rice came quite close to taking the lead, but at the end it was a good goal from Mikel Antonio. He wins the game for West Ham once again. He did it against Wolves. And he is a few goals away from being West Ham's all-time record scorer in the Premier League. The next game was Leicester versus Chelsea, and I've already done a review for that right after the game. It was more about, is this the end for Frank Lampard? Because I was sure that Frank Lampard was going to get sacked within hours of the game ended. Chelsea lost 2-0 to Leicester. It was a game of a horror show for all Chelsea fans. Most of us were convinced that Frank Lampard was going to get sacked, which is why the internet was filled with Frankie and Frank out. Everyone on the internet was talking about how Frank Lampard is about to get the sack because of the way Chelsea operates. We don't give our managers time. But saying that, we have never showed this much compassion for any manager other than Frank Lampard. And in one hand, I'm kind of glad that we are, but on the other, is it only just counting days from when he's actually going to get sacked? Because quite a lot of people who believe that this is the end for Frank Lampard. No matter what happens against Luton, no matter what happens in the next few games, Frank Lampard isn't coming back from that. And why is that? Well, because in the manner we lost, there was no conviction from any of the players other than Mason Mount. People were jogging, especially a few players that caught my eyes. Ben Chilwell, he was jogging a lot of the game. I didn't like that. I don't know what's going on with him. Is he laggy? Is he, tired? What is going on with him? I want to know what's going on with our fullbacks. He wasn't marking or helping out in the first goal. It was just Pulisic versus two of them, and Maddison and Barnes was always going to work it out, 2v1, and then it was a good pullback, and then it went on to Ndidi, who just scored a thunderbolt, and it was quite lucky. More often than not, those shots do not go in, but when rains, it pours. That's what happened on Tuesday night. Everything in terms of luck that could go in our way did not go in our way, and everything that could go against us did. The fact that Leicester never had to go on a second gear to win that game, because after the initial reaction, after the anger, after the sadness and all that negative feelings, when I had time to look back at the game, when I had time to see who did what, Leicester didn't actually play that well. By their standards, it was a subpar game. Chelsea, given how lethargic, how complete lack of the willingness to work for a win, for a draw, was just completely lacking. And that's why Leicester... Am I taking credit away from Leicester? No, not really. In a way, I am giving them far more credit because I'm saying they never had to work hard for the game. If we worked hard, maybe they would have worked harder and would have won anyway. But I would have liked to, as would have all Chelsea fans would have liked to seen us work harder and make them work for their win, which we didn't do. The first goal, it was a freaky goal. It went in. 9 out of 10 times that ball doesn't go into the net. But that went in. And the second one, this one triggered me. This one triggered me even more after watching the highlights over and over and over again. Because the run that Vardy makes, and behind him, the run that Maddison makes, it wasn't the first time that Reece James didn't mark him. It was the third time that Reece James didn't mark him, and Maddison were at that spot where he was twice before his goal. So James Maddison was in that spot behind Vardy twice. Reece James was never marking Maddison in the first 2 times that when the ball didn't go to Maddison. But the third time, it went to Maddison and he scored. Of course he scored. He's in form. He's scoring week in, week out last few weeks. He's playing really well. So I wasn't shocked when it went in. What shocked me was the shocking defending from Reece James. We all hold him on a pedestal that he's such a high caliber of a fullback, of a player that he is. But the mistakes he made, it was schoolboy error. Mark your player. Simple as that. Anywhere you go, you got to mark your player. And I get it, Maddison wasn't his player. But who else is he tracking back? It was the third time Maddison made that run. And he didn't see it coming for the third time. I'm really peed off. And it's not as if we can just go into our second option. It's not as if Azpilicueta maybe would have wanted it more. Would he have the pace for it? Even James looked like he didn't have the pace to keep up with Barnes. So how would have Azpilicueta have kept up with him? So I'm really angry with James for not putting in the performance that I believe that he can put in. I'm angry with him. When it rains, it pours. And it's raining really hard over Chelsea at this moment. It is clear the luck has run out for Chelsea. But will it stay that way for the rest of the season? Let's find out. On Wednesday night, both Manchester sides played. Let's take you through Manchester City versus Aston Villa first, because that game was a lot tighter than I initially thought. Aston Villa had a lot of chances, half chances. They didn't put it away. The game was quite even in my eyes. Manchester City had to work really hard, especially Ruben Dias was just amazing. He was not only amazing at defending, Ruben Dias is the reason why Man City broke the deadlock. Now, whether that goal should be allowed or not, apparently, according to the rules, that was the right decision. But as a viewer, as I was watching it, Ruben Dias comes from behind, so he was offside by a mile. I don't think that goal should have stood. A player no defender has eyes behind their back. So Mings has got the ball. Mings is going to pass it forwards or something, and here comes Dias from behind, takes the ball off, doesn't really foul Mings, but takes the ball of Mings and gives it to Bernardo Silva, who puts it at the back of the net. Wonderful goal. However, it shouldn't have stood. And after that, Dean Smith has some words for the referee, and then the referee gave him a red card. Now, if I was Dean Smith, I was going to punch that referee. I wouldn't even stay back. I was screaming. Apparently, for some insane rule, that goal is onside somehow. That goal is allowed somehow. But like I said, luck is on their side now. It seems luck is on their side when you try that hard and when you play well. And when you have a player like Ruben Dias, 23 years old, he's the new best centre-back the world is going to have. Manchester City has finally placed Vincent Kompany for good. Kompany was a player, a defender that I was afraid of whenever we would face them. So if he was out for some injury, I would always be glad because we wouldn't have to, not because what a good defender he was, but also what a leader he was on the pitch. And Ruben Dias, he is controlling the defense like it's his baby. And he's doing it so well. And I'm so jealous. I wish Chelsea had Ruben Dias, because if Chelsea had Ruben Dias, we wouldn't let goals in as easy as we do at the moment. Another player I want to give mention to is Joao Cancelo. I mean, he is playing better and better and better as the season is going on. And what I really like about him is how nobody reads him cutting inside and going in, helping in the attack, but also defending. Sooner or later he's going to score, and he's going to be a great player for Manchester City, given he's going to stay fit. They just ooze quality all over the pitch, from the goalkeeper to the player playing at the front, whether it's a striker, a proper striker like Jesus or Kevin De Bruyne, it doesn't matter. They have got quality players all over the pitch, in every single position, no matter where you look. You could argue about Stones, but he scored 2 in the midweek. So the next game was Fulham versus the Manx. The next game was Fulham versus Manchester United. So this game annoyed me quite a bit, because Manchester United weren't the better team, because Fulham had way more chances. They had way more shots on target. Ruben Loftus-Cheek played quite well. If he keeps playing like that, and if he could find a way to put the ball at the back of the net, he has got to come back to Chelsea next season and play for us while we sell deadwood like Jorginho, maybe even Kovacic. The game started quite well for Chelsea fans and any fans that do not like Manchester United, because Fulham scored the first goal within the first 10 minutes, which they haven't done all this season. And it was a good goal taken by Lookman. Cavani then levelled. It was mainly an error from the keeper, which is rare from Areola. But the ball, I don't know if it was wet, if it was slippery, whatever the case. It was a very soft push. It kind of went into the legs of Cavani, who did really well to be at the position he was to put the ball into the net. So good job for Cavani. I just wish Areola would have moved the ball away further from the post. Fulham then had many chances to go ahead to win the game, but they didn't. Ruben Loftus-Cheek played well, but he could not put the ball into the net. The other guy who couldn't finish and who had a sitter was Lookman, even though he was about 6 yards away. 7 yards maybe from the post. Followed by that, there came a Pogba goal. What a goal. I mean, it's a thunderbolt. No one was going to save it. I doubt anyone was going to save it. Anyone was even going to read it that he was about to take that shot. And it was a wonderful goal. Well taken goal. And even though Manchester United didn't play well, even though Manchester United played worse than Fulham did on the night, they come out on top with 3 points, and at the moment that's all that matters, because with that win Manchester United keeps their place at the top. So it's red, because Manchester United has gone to the top of the Premier League as this stands. They didn't play well, but luck is going their way, and sometimes you need luck. Chelsea could really use some luck. So on Thursday night, Liverpool took on Burnley, and Liverpool hasn't lost in home for 2 years and 9 months, I believe. Or was it 3 years and 9 months? It's quite a long time. They haven't lost. And I was afraid, and many Chelsea fans were afraid, that Liverpool was going to take that home record away from us, where we didn't lose a game for 86 games. And they came pretty close. But Burnley, of all team, I mean, I do not like Burnley in any shape or form. And the goal that they got came from a penalty that I didn't think was a penalty. The ball left Ashley Barnes' feet before Alisson came in and clashed with him. I don't think that was a penalty, But I'm happy the penalty was given. I do not agree with it, but I'm happy that Liverpool went on to lose the game. That was another example of luck not going their way at all. Because if luck were to go their way, Liverpool were attacking Burnley all game. Burnley barely attacked Liverpool 3 or 4 times maybe the entire game, properly attacking. But Liverpool attacked again and again and again and again, and the ball just wouldn't go at the back of the net. It just wouldn't go. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that. And I'll be seeing you in the next video, which is coming on very shortly. Thank you. I hope you're well. Stay safe and take care.